Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. It's Monday, May the 9th, and tonight we have Coach Gene Allen of the championship golf team at Pike Liberal Arts. They are the 2022 state champion in the AISA golf. Congratulations, Coach Allen, and thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
And before we get started, here's how I met Coach Allen. We were physical education majors at Troy University. And one afternoon, I was walking toward the dorm, and he said, "Would you like a ride?" And I really didn't know him that well, and I kind of knew of him. And I said, "Sure." And so he gave me a ride. I said, "Gene, where's that other tall fella that you got that hangs around you?" And we were talking. That was Claude Giddens. He and Claude grew up together in Greenville, Alabama, and they're kind of like that, still are today. And he said, "Well, Claude's not here in school this semester, this quarter. His daddy passed away." And that's how our friendship kind of started that day. And but anyway, so Coach, let's talk about Gene Allen just a little bit. Where's your hometown?
Greenville, Alabama.
And let's talk about your parents and your siblings.
My parents were Frank and Francis. They're both deceased. They were both from, well, my mother was from Fort Deposit. My father was from Forest Home. And I have two brothers and a sister. Patsy lives in Greenville. My oldest brother, Jimmy, passed away about 6 years ago. Then my next older brother, Joe, lives in Baldwin County. And then I'm the baby of the family.
Baby of the family. And he's a graduate of Crenshaw Christian Academy. Graduated in 1977, the same year that I graduated.
Yeah, we actually met some then. I think you came to some Crenshaw basketball games and stuff, and we kind of...
Yeah. I almost went to Crenshaw. I actually almost went to Crenshaw and Pike or Luverne because they were trying to get me to go play, but my principal taught me to staying at Goshen. But, Gene, your wife and your children and your grandchildren. Let's hit on that.
My wife is Amy Thigpen Allen. She's also from Greenville. She works out at Pike also. She's a counselor at Pike right now. And she's wore many hats out there. She's done a lot of different stuff, so does a great job. I have two children, Colston, who is a pharmacist at Crenshaw Drugs in Luverne. And I have a daughter, Griffin, that just graduated from the Southern College of Optometry. And we'll start a job as an optometrist in Auburn on June the 1st.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
And we're going to be moving her to Auburn in the next... Every time I'm not babysitting grandchildren, I will be going over there taking stuff to her house.
And your grandchildren, let's talk about those two.
Okay, I have two grandchildren. Easton, he'll turn 3 in September, and Emerson, who is 15 months.
Okay.
And they're a handful, but we get them about 3 or 4 days a week. So,
and that's been a blessing,
it is.
For you and Amy. Coach Allen, if you will, let's talk about your first. After you graduated from Troy, you went to the University of South Alabama.
Correct.
And got your graduate degree.
Master's degree, yes.
Master's. And then it was like a domino effect after that. I think there were about four or five of you that went that first time. And then after that, there was a domino effect of about 6 or 8 more.
Yep.
And Claude was one of those, and I was one of those.
Correct. That is correct.
And now, your first job was where as a teacher?
It was in East Coweta in Sonoa, Georgia. It was a little 1A school in Georgia. Now it's a 7A school in Georgia. But I stayed there 2 years, then moved back to Greenville, my hometown, to work at the middle school for a couple of years and became defensive coordinator at the high school. And then eventually became the head coach of the high school and started the golf program at Greenville High School and stayed there 16 years. And had a principal that talked me into coming to Talladega, so we moved up to Talladega and stayed up there 5 years. Then we moved back to Montgomery, and I worked at Robert E. Lee as the head coach and athletic director and coached golf there too. And then I retired from public education and took a job in Goshen, Mississippi, down the coast, and worked down there 4 years, coached golf and football down there. And then I moved back to Pike 10 years ago.
You've been, this is your 10th year?
Yes.
Okay, 10th year.
So I've been there 10 years.
Well, let's clear this up. Coach Allen, how many times has Forrest Lee defeated you on the golf course?
None.
None. 0. Now, when we would play golf, they'd always offer me to tee off first. I said, no, I want to try to get the honors during the 18 holes. I got it. I think one time I used your 845.
That's right.
845 5-iron, hit on the green,
Still
and
like them close.
I got a birdie, so I teed off, got the honors one time. That was my goal when I play somebody. Now, I want to tee off last, but I'm going to try to get the honors at least one time. I think I got it one time. But anyway, let's. So, how long have you coached golf at Pike Liberal Arts?
10 years.
10 years. And what was the highest place that y'all have finished during that time?
We came in second last year. We were the runner-up last year. And then we won it this year. We were fortunate. I'll say unfortunate, I guess. The first 6 years I was there, Lee Scott won state every year. And their two best golfers are playing on the Pro Tour right now. So, I mean, they were really good. And then the next 4 years, Morgan won it. Or COVID took one of them, but Morgan would have won it 4 years in a row. Mm-hmm. And then since their best golfers graduated now, last year we were the runner-up and Morgan won it. But then, Morgan won it. Yeah, Morgan won it. We were the runner-up, and then this year, obviously,
What was the stroke difference last year? Do you remember roughly?
Well, going into day 2, we were only 6 strokes down. We played pretty good on that the first day. The second day, we didn't play as well, and it ended up being like 25 strokes difference, something like that.
So this year's tournament wins, I say match. Is it a match?
We play tournaments.
Tournaments.
Usually when we go to a place, there's usually a minimum of 3 or 4 teams, and anywhere up to 8 to 10 teams. So that have teams. There's other schools that have individuals playing. Okay. Like when we host our tournament at Troy, we usually have like 80-something players. There'd be like 10 teams and 80-something players total.
So how many tournaments did we play in this year?
We played in 10.
And how many did?
We won 9.
9. And the tournament that...
Well, I'll take that back. We played in 10 as full teams. Okay. We played one tournament where we didn't have our whole team. Like one of our top 5 didn't play in it.
Okay.
So, but we won 9 tournaments, 9 out of 11, I guess you say.
All right, let me ask you this so the audience will know. When you take a group of players, say, to go play at Eufaula, how many golfers do you normally take on an away tournament, and how does their score count?
Well, if at all possible, and we've been fortunate that we can take them all.
You can take
usually.
Them
Now,
all.
when we went to Tuscaloosa and played, their course would only take a certain number, so we were only allowed to bring 5 golfers. But typically, we'll take all 10 this year. And what we'll do is I have to designate who my top 5 is.
Okay.
So you'll designate 5 players, and then you will count the 4 best scores of them 5 and throw out the highest score.
Okay. All right. So the state 2-day tournament, day 1, you designate. Is it the same 5 each day? When you
you designate the same. Once you designate them for the tournament, that's who it will be. So they'll the first day you'll have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going off, and then Tuesday you'll play the same 5, but you'll tee off in the order that they finished on the first day.
So, for example, the first day of the 5 that you designate, you take 4 of the top scores. Then the next day, the 4 top scores could be different than the 4 that were on Monday.
Yes.
Okay, that's how that works.
Right.
Coach, before we get them up here, let's talk about the players on your team briefly. We'll just list those, especially the ones that couldn't be here tonight.
Okay. You want to go down the list?
Yeah, just go down the list.
All right. Well, we have Jace Calhoun. Jace has been playing since the 6th grade. So Jace got baptized early state tournament with the Camry Ridge in Greenville, which was back then it was a tough course, but he qualified to go and he played well. I mean, he did all right.
Was he a 6th grader then, or sixth grader?
6th grader then.
Okay.
Okay, so he's been playing for me a long time. He's always been one of the top 5 just about. So he's been playing well. And then I have Peyton Jacobs, who is another senior. Peyton started in 7th grade, and so he's been playing a long time also. And they've improved. Each year they've gotten a lot better. And both of them have signed they're going to go play junior college golf at Enterprise State, so that's a big plus for us. Then I have another senior, Addie Meadows, who she came last year. She wasn't eligible to play last year because she had already played a fall sport in Kansas. So she rode around with me, kind of like assistant coach, and we did what we had to do. But and then this year she played as, you know, she ended up playing from the girl tees every tournament, and she ended up being the girl state champion, so, which was really good. And then the only other senior I had was Trey Holmes. Trey started playing last year. It was his first year of playing. You know, didn't qualify for the state tournament last year. They have to qualify for the state tournament, you have to be able to shoot 90 or less.
Okay.
And last year he did not do that.
At any tournament?
At any tournament. And you have to do it at least one tournament, but you have to play in a minimum before. Okay, to qualify for the state. But he didn't do it at all last year. This year he shot under 90 a couple times and played pretty well in the state tournament. So, he got better as the year went along also. And then we have Molly Jordan, who's the only junior I have, who's a girl, and she played really well. She played this year, 3rd year, Molly? Third year. She's been playing for 3 years, and she's gotten better, and she qualified. Last year, or 2 years ago, she had to play on the boys team at the state tournament because we only had 4 golfers that qualified, so she played on the boys team, and that was a little difficult for her being in the 9th grade trying to play for them. Because if a girl plays on the boys team, she has to play for the boy tees. So it makes the course a lot longer, so. But she's improved over the years, and she qualified in 2 or 3 tournaments and actually won the medalist of the tournament this year. And in 10th grade, we have Braden Presswood, who moved over this year from Charles Henderson, who was, one of our top players, one of the top 5, he had a really good year. I guess his average score was probably 72, 73, which was pretty good. And then we have Jackson Cleveland, who was 10th grader, who played. He started in the 8th grade, but he couldn't play in any tournaments. So really his 9th grade year was the first year he could do something. And so last year and this year, he's improved a lot. He won a couple of tournaments. He was our low scorer at the state tournament in 2 days. And he won a couple of individual tournaments this year as well. And then we have Cooper Lindsay, who was one of our top 5, who has moved to Orlando now. He's a 10th grader also. He was one of our top 5 in a lot of tournaments this year.
And his dad
is Chip, and took the job as offensive coordinator at Central Florida, so he's moved down there. And then we have Bryant Swindle, who's 10th grader, who's been playing 2 or 3 years, he's gotten a lot better. Shot his best score. He qualified this year to go to the state tournament. Shot his best score. Shot 82 the second day of the state tournament. So he's going to be one that we're going to count on next year. Have to be one of the top 5, and we need to keep his scores around the low 80s to mid 70s. And then Ford Hussey, who is an 8th grader. Ford was my number 4 golfer last year, and him and Cooper kind of migrated back and forth at 5th and 6th during the year. And he actually last year in the state tournament as an 8th grader, as a 7th grader, was one of our low scorers on the first day, shot 76. And then this year he played number 6 as an individual, and he shot 77 the second day of the state tournament. So he's got potential to get really low.
When did he start? 6th?
He started as a 7th grader.
7th grade?
Yeah, last year was his first year.
I wanted to ask you about this too, Coach. Next year, of course, Pike Liberal Arts is going to the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Where do we project to be as far as competing in golf? How's that in golf as it relates to?
Well, we'll be playing in the 1A, 2A class. They've combined the 1 and 2As. It's where we should fall. That's what we're hearing right now that we're going to be. And they better tell you the same thing I am, that we expect to win it. So we know that Elba won it last year. We know that Elba is leading the high school state tournament right now, and what they shot today was like 336. Our average score this year was 299. So we feel like we can play with them. We just, we got to get, a couple of golfers to come out. You need to have at least 5, and Molly's probably going to play from the boy tees unless we can get a 5th one to come in. And so if we can get you need to have 5, so if somebody has a bad day, then you can kick their score out and somebody can pick them up. So, but we feel like we can compete. We should be able to compete in the high school association in golf.
Okay. And one thing I want to ask you before we go to break, Coach, as far as people to thank, I know you like to mention the Troy Country Club, but as far as when you get as far as your season starting and where you play and coordinating things, who are some entities or people that you would like to thank?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, Troy Country Club, because they give us access to come out there, and like I said, it's going to change next year with the high school association, because you don't really play a lot of tournaments. You play matches, so it may just be us and Enterprise and Dothan, or us and Brantley, and 3 or 4 teams coming in. But when we do it, like I said, when we host tournaments here, we've had the 2 tournaments we had this past year. We'd have 88 people in one tournament and 80 in the second one. So I mean, we have a lot of people coming out. A lot of people like to play at Troy Country Club. So first and foremost, thank them. But and every tournament we go to, I mean, these people are, when we go to Bagby State Park, or we go to Salgahatchee in Auburn, or we go to Lakewood and Phoenix City and Selma Country Club. Every country club, every tournament we play, they're shutting down the course for that day. So that's a big, I want to thank all of them. But my parents are great too. I mean, we have the best parents of any golf team there. We have a lot of support. We have, they're always at the matches, supporting their kids and providing rides to get there. So we don't have to put 8 kids, 10 kids on a 40-passenger school bus when it's 100 degrees and go over there. Plus, I don't want to drive it either. Some of these places we go. So, but our parents are phenomenal.
Well, let's take a break, ladies and gentlemen. This show can be seen on Facebook. You can look it up on YouTube. Go to Troy Cable Productions, type in Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee, and then put Pike Liberal Arts Golf, and it should show up. Also, on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock at night till 10, you can see the replay of this show. But we're going to take a short break for these messages.
Yes! Bring it to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. We've been joined on the set with Jace Calhoun. He's a senior. This is Jace. And Peyton Jacobs. They're both seniors. And congratulations, on your fellas, on your state championship.
Thank you.
Jace, we'll start with you. Tell us about your parents and what grade you're in, and what are your what's the next step in your.
I'm a senior at Pike Lib, and my parents are Daryl and Tammy Calhoun. And I'm planning on going to Enterprise State to go play golf.
Okay. Now, what's your plans as far as what do you want to do as far as when you graduate? What do you know your career path yet? What you might want to do?
I want to go play golf at Enterprise and get those 2 years out of the way, and then transfer to Auburn and get a civil engineering degree, and maybe play golf up there.
Okay, maybe good. All right, Jace, through the years, what have been some of your favorite memories through the years as far as golf, on and off the
I know one
course?
he wants to forget.
Winning the state tournament, except the first 3 and the last 3 holes.
Okay, so what happened there?
The first day I bogeyed the first 3, and the second day I bogeyed the last 3.
Okay. Now, have you got a favorite funny story to tell in any of your years as a golfer at Pike Liberal Arts that happened at
Yeah, when I
that
was
you can
in
share on
when I was
TV?
in 6th grade, we played the state tournament at Greenville RTJ, and I was in 6th grade, and it was like the 3rd hole, and I hit 3 out of bounds, and the marshals made me walk up and down the hill about 3 times, and my mama had to call Coach Allen, and it was bad. I was only in the 6th grade. I think I had a 14 or a 15 on the hole. It was shot 131.
Okay. What's your favorite place that you've played? A couple of favorite places that you've played.
Lakewood Country Club in Phoenix City.
Okay.
I shot 74 the first time with about 5 holes in the rain, and the second time I won it and shot 1 under.
Okay. Have you got another favorite place?
Troy.
Troy Country Club. And I was going to mention this. Of course, I've known about Troy Country Club for a long time, but lately that course looks like it's so beautiful. It's clean. Yeah. Who's the superintendent now?
Davis
Watts.
Watts.
David. Yeah.
Watts.
And then of course Tony Mitchell has been in charge for a long time, and he's done a wonderful job. All right, Peyton. Where were you from originally, Peyton? Where?
Albany, Georgia.
That's where you were born?
Yes, sir.
I was born in Albany, Georgia, too. Daughtry County.
Go Dogs.
Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
Roll Tide, but go ahead. But so when did you move to Troy, Peyton?
In the 4th grade, so I was about 10 years old.
Okay. When did you start playing golf?
I'd say about 6th grade, and then when COVID happened, I started taking it a little more serious and tried to get better.
Okay. Now you're a senior as well. Who are your parents?
Robert and Lori Jacobs.
Okay. Are you the only?
I'm the only child.
Are your parents both from Georgia as well?
No, my mom is actually from Enterprise, and then my dad is from Sylvester, Georgia.
Sylvester, Georgia. Now, Peyton, what has been your favorite place or places to play since you've been at Pike Liberal Arts?
Probably Bagby State Park and Troy Country Club.
Where is Bagby State specifically located?
Just off the Georgia-Alabama line near Fort Gaines and Eufaula.
Okay. Now, have you got a favorite memory that you'd like to share, or a funny story?
I got a couple. Favorite memory is probably this year winning the state tournament, obviously, and then holding out from 160 yards at Bagby for an eagle. And then my funny memory, as I think I was in, I want to say 9th grade. We were at Saugahatchee, and we just got done, and I guess I just walked to the truck and completely forgot all of my golf clubs there, my whole bag and everything, and had to drive back the next day to get them.
Where is
by the putting greens and all
where's
Opelika.
The furthest tournament we play at.
is that right there off the exit 51?
57.
57.
I miss it every
Okay.
time.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask Jace and Peyton a question. Let's talk about Coach Allen. What would you like to say about Coach Gene Allen?
I don't think we could have done it without him. He took us to all the tournaments.
Jay says I'm old, man. That's all he says.
He takes us to all the tournaments, and he'll always take us out to eat and all that. He's a good man.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Allen. Who else would you like to express your thanks to while you've been at Pike Liberal Arts as it relates to golf or school, the whole gamut? Anybody? Teacher?
He's asking y'all, not me.
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Oh, us?
Yeah.
I guess Tolver Dozier. He's our golf coach or swing coach. I'm pretty sure. I'd say about half of us on the golf team go to him for
What's
lessons.
his name again?
Tolver Dozier.
Tover Dozier. Okay.
I say 7 of the 9. 7 of the
Yeah, 7 of the 10 go to him.
Okay.
And we've been going to him for a while.
As far as teachers, in your time at Pike Liberal Arts, regardless of grade, name 1 or 2 teachers that have been a big influence as far as
Coach Allen.
Coach Allen,
Miss Alyssa Jordan.
Ms. Jordan.
I'll say they're all good about, whenever we miss, they're always good about making sure we got our work made up and not just letting us go.
Well, is there anything you'd like to add or anybody you'd like to give a shout out to there in TV land?
My parents, thanks for all the golf tournaments.
Many more.
No,
Peyton?
Yeah, many more. Just my parents. Thanks for all the support.
When is graduation?
May 19th.
At what time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Can't miss
know
it.
that.
You
Yeah.
get to tassel out.
Butch Austin Stadium.
Okay. Well, I want to thank y'all for being on the show. And Peyton, you were you've been on the show before, and I want to thank you. And we will go to another quick commercial, and then we'll bring 2 more onto the set. Thank you, Jace. Thank you, Peyton.
Yeah.
And y'all have a good career at Enterprise State Junior College. And what's the colors?
Green.
The boll weevils,
Yeah, the
man.
boll weevils.
We'll be back after these messages.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it. But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it. We say yes. It's a Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokees. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
Welcome back to Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Tonight we're celebrating the 2022 State Championship Golf Team at Pike Liberal Arts. They are the Alabama Independent School Association golf champion, and two members of the team is Addie Meadows and Molly Kate Jordan. We'll start with Addie. You're a senior.
Yes, sir.
And how did you find Pike Liberal Arts?
I liked it. It was my 10th school.
10th school.
Yes,
Since
sir.
you started kindergarten?
Yes.
And your daddy's a football coach?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been at Pike Liberal Arts?
About a year and a half.
Okay. When did you start playing golf?
Kind of my 7th grade year, but really freshman year.
Okay. And then did you played golf in what states before you got to Alabama?
Well,
As far as
I
competitive?
began high school in Michigan, and I played there for a year, and then I moved to Kansas my sophomore year and played there sophomore and junior year.
Okay. What time of year does Michigan play golf?
Both in Michigan and Kansas we play in the fall.
In the fall. So you played the fall of your junior year. You came to Pike Liberal Arts. You were ineligible to play because you had already played high school golf earlier in the year.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite things about Pike Liberal Arts?
The school or the golf team?
Both.
The school, I like, I met some of my best friends at school, like Molly and my friend Kylie, and that's really nice. And then with the golf team, my previous two golf teams have been all girls, and here it's mostly guys, so that was also a change, but I liked it.
Okay. And you were the low medalist champion at the state.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you played against other girls, and you finished first. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where has been your most favorite place to play golf here in Alabama?
Probably Troy Country Club. I work there too, so I spend all my time there. But that's probably where I played the best and my favorite course to play.
Okay. Have you got a favorite hole that you play at? What's your favorite?
My favorite. Okay. I like 15.
Number 15. Is that a par 4 or a par 3? Okay.
Yep. That's
Okay.
probably. I don't like 8. I have like a mental block on 8, but I like 15.
Is 8 a par 5?
That's a little par 3 over water.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's been a long time since I played there. Well, who are your parents and your siblings?
So my dad's Luke Meadows and my mom's Shelly Meadows, and then I have an older brother. He's 20. His name's Dalton, and then a little brother who's 4, and that's Mac, and he's our team mascot.
Okay. Where's
Max
Dalton?
Scott.
Where's Dalton, your older brother? Where's he?
He's at the University of Nebraska.
University of Nebraska. And your plans after college are to?
Go to the University of Nebraska.
Okay. You have any idea what you might want to study?
I'm majoring in PGA management, which is professional golf management, but on the pre-med track because after that I want to go to med school.
Okay. All right, Molly Kate, let's talk about you. You are a junior.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you played golf?
Since the spring of my 8th grade year.
Spring. Okay. Now, your parents and siblings are?
My parents are Mike and Alyssa Jordan, and then I have 2 sisters. One's in the 4th grade, that's Abby, and then Anna is a sophomore at Stanford University in Birmingham.
Okay. So there's 3 girls in that family. And I taught with your mother,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at Charles Houston Middle School. And,
You teach
You're-
with her now?
sir?
You teach
Well, I
with her
teach
now?
with her now. We're both at Pike Liberal Arts. So, your favorite course to play?
Probably Bagby Country Club or Troy Country Club.
Okay. Now, what has been some of your favorite or funny stories that have happened on the golf course?
I think my funniest story is the first year that I played, I had to play in state because we only had 5 people. So I played from the guys' tees in state. And at Troy, there's this one over water,
It's
and
15,
it's number
wasn't it?
15. And my ball hit the piece of wood in front of the tee box and bounced back and almost hit my dad twice.
Okay.
Came behind her.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We had a little melt now.
yeah.
We had nosebleed.
I did also have a nosebleed both days that year. So,
She
I've
rebounded
heard
well,
this
though.
story and it always makes me
Yeah.
Now,
laugh.
what about you? What's been a funny story as it relates to golf with Pike Liberal Arts? Last year or this year, doesn't matter.
After we won at Bagby, Jace and Cooper did cartwheels on the green, and I didn't think either of them could do a cartwheel, but they just go and do a cartwheel. And I was just like, Jace can do a cartwheel.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about, we'll get to Cooper later on. Coach, let's talk about Cooper while he's not here. He is a sophomore, and he has moved to, you know what high school he's in?
He's at Winter Park.
Winter Park High School. And I want to shout out to the Lindsays across the way. And
he's down there practicing. He's playing every day down there because down there he'll have to make the golf team because it's a big school. Have a lot of golfers, so they'll have to qualify to make the golf team.
yeah, that'll be big down
So he's
there.
playing every day, yeah.
Okay. Who would y'all, let's talk about Coach Allen specifically. And I know it's the Coach Allen roast. Well, what are some things that y'all would like to say about Coach Allen?
I've had 4 golf coaches because I played for 4 different teams, and he's definitely my favorite. He's probably hasn't had to deal with, the boys when they play bad, they get angry, but when I play bad, I cry. So he's good at dealing with me when I'm.
Andy will tell me I only cried once a day, so
Yes.
that's a good round.
Yeah.
Molly Kate?
I definitely wouldn't be playing golf without him. He's very good at encouraging not having a good day on the golf course, so.
He'll keep you on your toes, too,
Yes.
a little bit. He's kind of a comedian,
Yes.
or dry humor, and that's the fun thing about being around Gene Allen, of course. Is there a specific teacher that you would like to mention on the air, or your parents, as far as influence while you've been at Pike Liberal Arts? A teacher or anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Probably Miss Floyd. She's been there for me even when she wasn't teaching me. So she's really good about
What does she teach?
She teaches Algebra 2 and Geometry.
Okay. What about you, Addie?
I want to thank first the girl that got me into golf. Her name is Sydney Olstead. My mom said track or golf, and my best friend played golf, so I chose golf. And then my first golf coach, Dave Merrill. He's the one that started my swing and everything, and he's the reason I'm really playing today. And then, of course, my parents.
Now, where is that fella at, that coach, in Michigan?
He's actually in Hot Springs, South Dakota.
What's his name again?
Dave Merrill,
And what about the young lady?
Sydney Olstead.
Now, where's Sydney now?
She's still in Hot Springs.
Okay. Well, make sure you can call them and say, look this up. We're on the TV show. Let's go ahead and be having Braden and Jackson make your way. And we're just going to stay live and go ahead and make the transition. Girls, thank you and congratulations. Thank you for coming tonight. And we're going to rotate these two. If y'all come this way to the right, and the next 2 fellas come on.
Let's go, Dad.
Actually, the next 2 coming on, Braden Presswood and Jackson Cleveland. My first show back in April of last year, they were 2 of my first guests. Dr. Dave Runyon was on the show, and then I had the dynamic duo of Jackson Cleveland and Braden Presswood to come on, and they were freshmen at the time and were playing pretty good, and they're still continuing to play. I've known Braden and his family for a long, long time. Hello, Bud. We love you, Bud. And I think the world of Bud Presswood, your granddaddy, and your grandmother, and I knew them at Charles Henderson, and your twin brother, and your older brother, and your other brother, and I've kind of known the Cleveland family through Delaney Curvin. I used to be in the guard with him. But congratulations. We'll start with Braden. Who is, what classification? We're sophomores.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about who your parents are and your siblings.
My dad, Josh Presswood, my mom, Franny Presswood, and I got my oldest brother's 21, or my half brother, Grant Baker, played football at Charles Henderson, and he graduated. He's an electrician now.
Okay.
And then my other brother, Noah, he played basketball and baseball this year at Charles Henderson, and he's about to graduate 2 weeks, the 26th of May. And then my twin brother also plays baseball and basketball at Charles Henderson.
And what's his first name?
Bradley.
Who's the oldest?
Bradley.
Brad, so you are the baby.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now your dad can play some golf.
Yes, sir.
He can play some golf. But I believe granddaddy, Bud, has had like 9 hole-in-ones. How many have you had?
1.
How many have you had?
2.
None.
Not even close.
I flew one on the lip one time.
Well, actually, I made my first hole-in-one this year, April 1st, and I called my dad. I was playing with Brax Barrett. You know Jimmy Barrett?
Yeah, I know Brax.
He played on my golf team at Charles Anderson, and I called my dad, and I told him I made it, and he said April Fools, because and he didn't believe me.
What hole was that on?
Number 8 at Troy.
Troy?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Is that a par?
The one that Hattie don't like.
Okay. All right, well, let's, okay, Jackson, your parents and siblings?
My parents are Jared and Kelly Cleveland, and my stepdad is Adam Brookins. I have my brother Cole. He just got done with the game tonight, actually. I think they won. And I have 2 step siblings, Cade and Zane Brookins, and they both play baseball too. So,
Okay. Well, how did you get involved in golf? Where did you get started?
a long time ago at the Brundage Country Club, I decided to go out there with my uncle and my grandfather, and I've loved it ever since.
Who and specifically, who are they?
My grandfather is Delaney Curvin, and my uncle is Jeff Curvin.
Jeff? Okay. Can you beat Joel?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Most of the time.
Every time.
So what about, how did you get started?
Probably my dad. I went out, same thing as him. I went out to Brundage with my dad one time and never
Kept on playing.
just kept on playing.
Kept on playing. And, you know, I worked at the country club for about a little over a year, and I'd see you a lot out there
Yes, sir.
on Saturdays and Sundays, especially Sundays. And but you swing left-handed.
Yes, sir.
And you swing. Are you the only lefty on the team, Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
What is there advantage being lefty, or
Not for me.
is it set up? Is set up for the right-hander golfer? The courses.
Both. Either they're both.
Yeah.
I mean, you can set up for both.
Okay.
You need to be able to hit a fade or a draw, depending, no matter what you are. Certain holes require
Okay.
certain shots, so you need to be able to hit both of them anyway. So.
All right. What has been your favorite course to play?
Probably not this year, but at Charles Anderson, probably the RTJ in Prattville, Capitol Hill. Yes, sir.
And when you played last year, you were the only golfer.
Yes, sir.
Do they have any golfers now?
No.
They don't. Okay. Now, what about you? Have you got a favorite place that you play, other than locally?
Eufaula Country Club. That's one of my favorite courses. Usually don't play good at it, but I like it.
Okay. So it's a challenge, kind of.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah. It's a challenge now.
Now, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to talk about Coach Allen through the years thus far.
You're going to put him on the spot, man.
Well, I've known him for a long time, but he's always been someone I could go to, talk to when I needed someone to talk to, and he's been a great golf coach, and I don't know how he puts up with us, but he has more patience than anybody I know. So he's a great guy.
What about you, Brother Presswood? I know you've been here for about a year.
Yes, sir. This is my first year, but I've known Coach Allen for probably since last year of golf season, because I'd go out there since I was the only person on the team last year in practice, and he let me play with him, and he's just a
Kind of keep him around, man.
great man, and go to him whenever you want to.
What about where has what are some a favorite or a funny moment that you've had this year or last year?
Probably this year it wasn't me. It was actually Jace. We were in Greenville at Greenville Country Club. I was sitting on number 5 tee box, and it was like a wait because people in front of us holding us up. So I was just sitting down on 5 tee box. Jace was teeing off on the par 3. It was kind of right beside me, and I see Jace. Jace is like probably even par to 1 over, going to that hole, and he shanks 2 out of bounds off that tee. Big 6.
He's not a happy camper, is he?
No.
What about you, Jackson?
that definitely was a funny one because I was on the same tee box too. There was a pretty long wait, but I mean, every tournament's a funny one. I mean,
It's funny when it happens to someone else and it's not affecting you. When somebody else blows their coup or so anyway. So the most temperamental golfer we have is who when they're not playing well. Who would that be?
Oh, it's probably either me or Jace.
Okay. When things aren't going well, you kind of show it a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, definitely
Anyway.
Jackson.
Well, anything that I want to close with this with y'all. Is there someone that you would like to thank, school-wise or family-wise, as it relates to golf or academics?
And definitely my family. You know, obviously wouldn't be here without them. And you know, they take me to golf tournaments. You know, they obviously pay for most of them. Well, not school tournaments, but tournaments outside of school. And academic-wise, I'm not the smartest. So the teachers, they definitely cut us some slack and help us get back in the loop when we do get back to school.
Definitely that last part he said about the teachers, and I like to thank my dad and my grandfather, and Tolver Dozier.
We, because you got the eye on the prize, you know what it's going to take next year to, and it's about getting on the golf course now and encouraging others to get out there with you, and let's make it happen. Well, let's go ahead and y'all slide off, and let's go ahead and have Bryant and Ford to kind of slide on, and we're just going to keep it rolling. And thank y'all for coming, and congratulations on we need to be able to see your eyes more if you're too dark. The last two we have on the show, want to mention, of course, Trey Holmes could not be here. He had a prior obligation, and Cooper Lindsay has transferred to Florida. His dad is coaching in South Florida, but on the show now we have Bryant Swindle and we have Ford Hussey. Congratulations and welcome to the show. And you are a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
And you are an 8th grader. Let's talk about your parents, who your parents are and siblings, if you have any.
I'm an only child, and my parents are Tony and Lori Swindle. My dad owns Idaho Graphics, the print shop, and my mom also works there.
Okay. And I met your daddy through the National Guard. I've been knowing him for quite a while. All right, Ford, who are your parents?
My parents are Bobby and Marilee Hussey.
Okay.
I got one sibling there, Michael Hussey. She goes to Pike too.
And she's a senior?
Yeah, she graduated this year.
And where will she go to college?
She's going to Alabama.
Okay. Well, Bryant, when did you start playing golf?
My 7th grade year, just before the season started.
Okay. And where has been your favorite place to play golf? So
Troy Country Club and Indian Pines.
Indian Pines is in
Auburn. That's where the state was this year.
And that's
Auburn.
near the airport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they're fixing to redo it.
What about you? The airport or the golf course?
The golf course. They got to extend runways, which was going to mess up like 4 holes, so they're just going to redo the whole golf course.
Okay.
They'll shut it down in December.
How long will it be shut down? About a year?
Till they get through it.
Indefinite. All right, Ford, where has been your favorite places to play?
This year?
Or anywhere, anytime.
I like playing Troy Country Club and Brundage Country Club.
Okay.
Played both of them a lot.
Okay. Well, good. What has been maybe a comical thing or anything you'd like to share that's happened on the golf course involving you or others that kind of
My story actually didn't happen on the golf course. It happened on the way to the second Greenville tournament. I was riding with Coach Allen and Jace.
Okay, and there was
we were going through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru to get some breakfast.
Okay.
And,
I got you. There was a little bender.
That was Coach Allen.
Okay, I know about
Seniors put you up with that, man. I can't believe that.
Okay, we'll stop there. What about you, Ford?
The funniest moment this year is probably when we played in Salkehatchie, and I think I was on number 1, and Molly Kate was in front of me, and I hit a ball. It landed right between her and the girl she was playing with. So after the tournament, she came up to me. She said, "Next time you hit a ball at me, I'm gonna hit one right back at you."
That's what Molly can't touch. Did you know it was going that far, or did you
I
thought?
didn't even see her over there. There was a little hill, and I didn't see her.
You didn't see her.
That's funny.
Well, so will be in 8th grade. You'll be an 11th grade. No, you'll be a 9th grader. And you'll be an 11th grader. So what are your plans this summer to improve? Do y'all have a plan as far as golf goes?
Just practice a lot.
Okay. Y'all have a golf coach? I mean, y'all have a swing coach or anything like that?
Oliver Dozier.
Okay. The as far as schools related, mention a teacher or two that you've enjoyed or had from kindergarten up until now. Who's been a good influence in your life?
Probably Coach Allen, of course, and Miss Katie Scott.
Miss Katie Scott. What does she teach?
Spanish and Spanish 1 and Spanish 2.
Okay. So have you had both of those already, or just one?
Spanish 1 is this year.
Okay. Okay. You'll have Spanish 2 next year.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Ford?
I have to say my two favorite teachers. One of them was in my 6th grade year, Miss Laura Lynn Jordan. She helped me out a lot in the year.
Is she still with us?
She's
okay.
gone.
And that one, and him,
my favorite.
yeah. Because you've been playing golf with him since the 6th grade. I can remember going to some of those golf tournaments, and there was this kid about yay high. That was Ford.
He's grown a lot.
He's grown a lot. He's tall. But anything that y'all would like to add that you want to say specifically as far as thanks to anybody while I've got you on the set?
Thanks to my parents for giving me the opportunity to play golf and funding it, and Oliver Dozier for helping me figure out my swing throughout the years.
Okay. What about you, Ford?
Big thanks to Coach Allen. He helped me out a lot, and my grandparents and my parents for helping me.
Who are your grandparents?
Grandparents, Carol Hussey and Stephanie Hussey, and other two grandparents, Mickey DeShera and Cheryl DeShera. She passed away about a year ago.
Mm-hmm. And I saw there was a dedication.
That's right.
Was that at Troy University?
Yeah,
They
it was at the
dedicated a
stadium.
bench, yeah. And of course, sweet family, and I know there's some sweet memories for you there. But guys, I want to thank you for coming on the show. Coach Allen, let's just close, if we will. Make sure I've got everything. I know you're looking forward. I know you're proud of this group.
Yeah.
And you're looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
And anything else that you'd like to close with? What are some of the not greatest, why did you teach and why did you want to get in coaching? Who influenced you at Crenshaw and at Troy as a young man?
Really? All I've ever done in my life is play sports. I mean, since I was 4 years old, that's all I've ever done. When I got out of high school, my goal was to go into business. I took one business class, and I said, this ain't for me. I can't do this. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to go into coaching. But, my high school coaches obviously were great. Charles Clark, that coached me basketball, and he was my headmaster. He was, instilled the discipline in you. And Johnny Shoemaker, that was my football coach and all. Like I said, I didn't play golf in high school. I played tennis and ran track and played baseball and football and basketball. So, like I said, that's all I've ever done my whole life was play sports. And then when I got to Troy, obviously, Dr. Hanson and Dr. Jeffrey and, that were big influence on what I did.
Right. Dr. Jeffrey.
He almost taught me into going back to get my doctorate to work under him at Troy. He wanted several of us to do that, and I just.
Virginia Watson was another good one.
Yes, Miss Watson.
But
definitely.
Coach, we just lost Coach Shoemaker, and I know, that, when you say Clark and Shoemaker, you say two of the best of all time, and they had a big influence on you and others at Crenshaw.
They did.
Coach Shoemaker finished at Lakeside.
At Lakeside, right.
And was a great teacher and coach there.
Mm-hmm.
And but guys, I want to thank y'all for coming. Coach Allen, I want to go ahead and tell you of all the people that I've met, I think you're as good a teacher as you are a coach. Teaching means a lot to him. He does it the right way. He wants to teach the best he can first. Coaching will take care of itself. He's got his priorities straight, always has. And that's a reflection on Troy University. That's a reflection on his parents. And I've been around Frank and Francis Allen for a long time. That was my pit stop going to South Alabama. When I went through the Guard, National Guard, I was in Mobile at the 226. And if I stopped by Boutwell Street, is that where they lived on Boutwell?
That's right.
Miss Francis, she would pull out all kind of food, and there'd be a table full of food just like this, that was some of the best eating I believe I've ever had in my life. Well, let's take a quick commercial, then I'll close the show. And guys, thank y'all for coming. Coach Allen, thanks a bunch. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back after these messages.
Want a new Ram or Jeep? Bring it. But you have no credit or bad credit? Bring it. We say yes. Yes. Bring it to Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Troy. Right now, save up to $10,000 on Rams and Grand Cherokee. Shop PremierTroy.com. During our Bring It sale. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Brundage Building Supply and Paint Center at Jackson Hardware. 120 years and counting of real customer service with a smile and a heartfelt thank you for visiting with us. PPE, lumber, paint, building supply and roofing, guns, ammunition, American-made items, and oh, by the way, hardware.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Now that shows we stand behind our work. And our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did.
We're back. This is Addie Meadows, and she's going to talk about Mac. Talk about Brother Mac.
So Mac's watching right now. He is very excited. He kept saying Coach is happy when Coach was on. He's my little brother. He's 4, and he absolutely adores the golf team. He comes to basically every tournament, and he has to follow around at least somebody. If I'm not playing good, he'll go follow Peyton or Jackson or Molly. And he's always excited to see him at the end. And he goes to dinner with us, but we call him the Mac Scott, because his name's Mac, and then mascot. But he loves golf, and he loves all the boys and Molly, and he knows all their names, has nicknames for them all.
What's Coach Alvin's nickname? Does he have one for them?
That's just Coach.
What does he call Peyton?
P.
P. What about Jace?
He calls Jace. I can't even say Jace. I think he doesn't call Jace anything.
What about Jackson?
K.
K?
K.
K?
Uh-huh.
Where do you get K from, Jack?
He can't say J, but he can say K.
K. Okay. Now, so you got Mac as a little brother. He's 4. You got an older brother at Nebraska. And what's his name again?
Dalton.
Dalton. When will you leave for Nebraska?
I'm actually moving in 2 weeks to go to Kansas City, and then I'll go to Nebraska at the end of July.
Okay. Well, good. Well, listen, Eddie, I've met you. Well, of course, I was in my first year at Pioneer Barnes, but I know you were in Ms. Allen's office a lot doing studies at
college
stuff.
Yes.
But I want to say you've been a treat to get to know, and I think a lot of you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this show. Thank you, Addie, for coming back on. Mac, we love you. The Mac Scott.
The Mac
Scott. And you can watch the show again Wednesday night at 9 o'clock at night, 9 till 10. And thank you for joining us for Good News and Interviews with Forrest Lee. Thank you and have a great week.